Hey, what's up, traders? It's Friday, January 20th, 9:17 a.m. Here are your morning ideas. So what's going on, guys? I still have all this stuff on my charts from yesterday. What I can do is take it and delete some of these drawing tools. Give me a second. All right, and then I'll redraw the profile, something like that. Okay, so we didn't do much yesterday. We continued lower, but once the market opened, we really just kind of, we opened here and we closed a little bit higher than where we opened. We tried higher, we went lower, ripped up, in the afternoon, and then came right back down and traded right on VWAP. And then we've basically trading right on top of VWAP all night in the overnight session. Today is a Friday. It looks to be a slower day. You can see that we have 75%, and this is the small picture I'm looking at down here. Small picture for me is 15-minute, 78% volume. So in line with kind of a slowish morning overnight session after two pretty volatile days. Do we, I know yesterday we talked about, some of these prices below, and I'll have to go back to the other chart here to show you those. So we were looking at a possible extended target at 38.77. We were talking about the average daily range yesterday. If you didn't watch it, I think it's a good one to watch. The average daily range yesterday, which would make us banging at 38.77. We just didn't quite get there. We didn't go a whole lot, even though we didn't go very far, even though we had some volatility. But if you see where the dotted line is, guys, right? So you see where the dotted line is the current price. You can see where we're still kind of trading in between the two areas. So we've got this area down here, and then we've got this area up here. The market came from the bottom area back all the way to the value high of the top area and rolled back down to the bottom. And now we're trading down here. So I think that this is a pretty important, there's two pretty important areas here as we continue to trade in this area. First one, if the market can take back 39.60, okay, we're trading 39.26. I believe that the shorts are in trouble, okay, because I think that then we'll squeeze back up to 40.25 again, and then start to tech that 40.80 we talked about early in the week. The other area for me is this area down here. Let me move this drawing if it'll allow me. Okay, and then I'm going to erase this one. Okay. So this is the area 38.75-ish that we were talking about yesterday. You can see we're trading kind of right in the middle of it. I believe that this, we may not get either place today because we have pretty low volume, but I think these are the two really important areas now, because if we go back and we can take 39.60 back, now we've basically shrugged off the lower prices, and now we're back above the VPOC in a heavily traded area, and we'll start to walk ourselves higher back up into 40.25. And then probably 40.80. If we fall and we're not able to hold on to 38.75, 38.77, whatever you want to call it, then we probably start to work down towards the bottom of this area, which takes us down 38.25. So these are the two. So it's either 50 points lower, and if we take back 39.60, we're going at least 50 or 60 points higher. And I think that that's kind of, for me, the frame of the market that I'm looking at right now. And I think that in between, it all depends on, hey, what kind of day do we have? Do we have low volume? Do we have higher volume? Are we likely to trend today? Or are we likely to just kind of chop around and not get to these edges? But you don't have to put these areas on your chart. This is like how I'm looking at the market. You remember, most of the time the market spends in these these gray areas, and you've got to be prepared and willing to take a stand when it gets to your area. So I have these areas on my chart. The market a lot of times just ebbs and flows, does absolutely nothing, and then it comes to one of my areas, and that's where I get interested in taking the trade. And I remember that long term, if you look at this chart, the daily, I've been in this area since May. I keep talking about it. 38.77, where my red line is, right? If I'm It's right here. It's still kind of in the middle of this chop. So I know that it's not a be all end all area. It's still in a larger, think about bigger picture chop zone. But if you're only looking at a daily chart and you're looking at over, an 8, 9, 10 month period, it's going to be difficult to get into trades on the edges because it takes longer for the market to get there on a bigger picture. So, you do have to have some more actionable information if you're an intraday trader so that you have areas where you're looking at. So it's a fine line between being, looking at the big picture and being too far out where you're never able to find an intraday trade. And I think that that's part of, intraday trading is being able to take that information and apply it to, a smaller time frame chart and able to find where you think that the market is going to go inside that bigger framework, if that makes sense. So again, trading is simple, but it's not easy. I try to keep my trading as simple as possible, but again, you always hear me say that there's a lot of nuances in trading, and that's why we do these morning ideas. That's why we have the community. That's why we do the things that we do to try to explain on a daily basis the little nuances that you learn from looking at the market day in and day out for, months and years and, decades for me at a time. So that's it for today. Today, remember, is the last day you can enter the new NFL 40/40 promotion. If you haven't seen the video, it's the one with the blue thumbnail on YouTube. Just search for it. Pick your team. The games start tomorrow. The football games start tomorrow, and you have to pick a team before the first game to be entered into the giveaway for the free account and free 2 resets or cash equivalent, remember. So go watch that video if you haven't seen it. I'll put it here after. I hope everybody has a great day, and let us know if you have any questions.